See you next time.
Rihanna, hook me up with some tickets, man.
Ain't no fuck all of y'all. Y'all motherfuckers bad pay. Y'all make enough money off of me. Bitches. Come for free tickets. Free tickets, these nuts. Let me go.
Let's go.
If we talk about the most influential people in the music industry, we have to talk about Rihanna. For years, she has been one of the favorites. From her multiple memorable and amazing hairstyles to her unique style, her music, her videos, her carefree attitude, and her beauty, Rihanna is incredible. Rihanna started in the music industry in 2005 when she was only 15 years old, and her name has been out ever since. There were some issues in her career, but nothing overshadowed her success. Today, Rihanna is a billionaire businesswoman, the first one to introduce a makeup line that was made for everyone, an all-inclusive makeup line that immediately positioned her as one of the best ones in the beauty industry, giving her the status of a self-made billionaire. But what if I tell you that we almost didn't have Rihanna, and that all of this success and amazing memories that we have from Rihanna were almost non-existent? Some people think that her success behind closed doors has been like the success that we have seen, and they are not to blame because in 2009 there was no access to news and social media like we have today. You see, Rihanna was just a little girl when her career started, and at that time there were other artists like Christina Milian, Ciara, Amari, and Tiara Mari, not to mention that Kelly Clarkson was dominating the industry, and Destiny's Child was still a thing, so she had success, but it was not until 2007 her name became known worldwide. She released Umbrella, which opened a lot of new doors for her. It can be referred to as the song that gave her superstar status. Her style became a trend. She became one of the fan favorites in no time. It looked like everything was working out for her through the years, but aside from her very public issues that went legal, Rihanna had other legal issues that were putting in danger her career. In January 2009, Rihanna had $1 million, but by the end of that year, she only had $2 million. Rihanna was about to go bankrupt. There was even a rumor during that time that she only had $20,000 to her name. This came as shocking news since Rihanna had massive hits in the industry and was an international artist. But when you take awful business advice from your accountants, things like this can happen to every person. Rihanna's accountants made her believe that her finances were in order. She confirmed that she almost went bankrupt. And one of the main reasons was that the accountant Peter Gunas told her that it was okay to buy a $7 million mansion when in reality she was running out of cash. Her tour at the time, Last Girl on Earth, was not doing good. The tour was losing money. Her expenses went up because, just like every artist, they all have expenses. And regardless of how good or bad their career is doing, they have to take care of them. The $7 million house was what we can call the cherry on top. The mansion had leakage problems and it was moldy, so not only did she spend money when she was running out of cash, but also the house was not suitable for living in it, needed some repairs, and that was another expense. Sometime after all of this, she sold the house for something around $2 million. Even though her exact strategy for coming out of this financial crisis was not disclosed at the time, we can say that the 3 albums that she put out with her record label Def Jam and her endorsements with companies like CoverGirl, Gucci, and Samsung helped her finances. At the end of 2009, her album Loud was released, and during the next years, Rihanna had nothing but hits and success. She got more endorsements, and it was practically impossible not to see her everywhere. So it is safe to say that when she sued her old accountant in 2012 for $35 million, her net worth was around $43 million in her lawsuit against Peter Gunas. The artist claimed that he misled her by telling her that it was okay to buy a house, $7 million house, and by never telling her that her tour was losing money. The lawsuit also stated that the accountants charged excessive commission and took nearly 23% of revenue, while Rihanna only received 6%. The lawsuit became messy when the old accountant responded by saying, and I quote, "Peter Gunas did not leave the tour to go act in a movie. Fenty did. All of this is because apparently Rihanna left her tour, the same one that was making her lose money to go and film the movie Battleship, a movie that performed very poorly when it came out. It is said that she got paid $2 million for that role. In the court documents, Gunis said, and I quote, "The tour did not make as much money as projected. The tour was what she wanted. Just as the exorbitant amount of expensive clothing and other purchases, she squandered her money on where at the end of her 2-year spending spree, she had rooms of shoes, clothing, and jewelry, and fond, if not hazy memories of extravagant parties but little cash." Court papers said Peter Gunis said that the tour was losing money due to Rihanna's fault. He also claimed that the reason why her finances were in red was due to exaggerated expenses coming from the artist. In other words, he said that Rihanna was shopping nonstop without a care in the world or even looking at price tags. Peter Gunis said that she squandered huge amounts of money on designer clothes and jewelry. He wrote at the core of her claim, in disbelief someone else is responsible for her conduct and its consequences. Rihanna also alleged that Gunis failed to manage her foreign and domestic taxes, and due to that, she was audited by the IRS. She said that he failed to monitor and recover millions in unpaid royalties. She sued Gunis and the firm for breach of contract, breach of fiduciary duty, and fraud, among other violations. So safe to say that this was getting ugly, but the lawsuit was settled out of court. The terms were not disclosed, but it is said that she was awarded around $10 million. So is this the inspiration for Rihanna's song, Be Better Have My Money? The lawsuit was settled in 2014, and in 2015, Rihanna released the song which talks about someone who owes her money. The video came out, and on it, Riri kidnaps the wife of an accountant who owes her money. In one scene, the singer checks her bank balance on an ATM to find just $420 in her account. When the accountant in the video refuses to pay up, she tracks him down and ties him up at his mansion. After learning about the legal issues between Rihanna and her old accountant, watching the video feels different, quite interesting, and not so friendly. At present, Rihanna is a billionaire. Robin Rihanna Fenty is reportedly a self-made billionaire.
Robin Rihanna Fenty is reportedly a self-made billionaire. Forbes estimates the mogul is worth $1.7 billion, making her the world's wealthiest musician who is a woman. What got her there? Her Fenty beauty line, valued at an estimated $2.8 billion, which she owns 50% of.
We really only had limited resources to work with, but we made the best of it, and people really enjoyed.
The rest comes from her stake in her own Fenty Savage lingerie line and earnings from her music and acting career.
Forbes estimates that mogul is worth $1.7 billion, making her the world's wealthiest musician who is a woman. And what got her there? Her Fenty beauty line, valued at an estimated $2.8 billion, which she owns 50% of. Her Fenty Savage lingerie line and earnings from her music and acting career, among other things. She is one of the most influential people in the industry. She went on to become one of the most listened to artists, breaking records in the music industry, even without any new music in the past 9 years.
All right, let's start with Rihanna. The singer and entrepreneur is breaking records. She's just become the first female artist to have 10 songs reach 1 billion streams in Spotify history. Rihanna's sharing the news on her social media, celebrating the milestone. But here's the thing, she doesn't have any new albums out. This is all just her older songs. So which